The hit star from the American Eagle ads is back on the big screen. Sydney Sweeney trades in good genes for a bad stutter in Americana, a 2025 quirky western. She, along with her co-star Chex Notes Halsey, are going to really showcase their acting prowess. And as someone who celebrates Halsey's entire musical catalog, don't think I didn't notice the title of this movie's Americana, and she has a song called New Americana. Coincidence? Is it why she got the role? These are questions I don't have answers for, but I can tell you at least whether or not Americana is worth your time. Let's begin with the review. First things first, I'm the realist. Drop this and let the whole world feel this. I like to jump into that once in a while. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. And also, if you find yourself really fully engaged with the commentary I'm providing, please think of subbing to the show, Adam Does Movies, on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. It's free of charge on all platforms. It's quite a deal. It's quite a service I'm providing. Okay, Americana, what do we have right out of the gates? It's rated R. It's around an hour and 45 minutes long. It's got a lot of quirky characters. It's got a pretty wild premise, and it takes place in South Dakota. Since this is one of those new fandangled modern movies, we have to present this as a story in acts, in parts, in rounds, in chapters. I think this one goes with parts, and I'm not sure any of them go with rounds. That's fighting games. And I believe this one goes up to 5. Sorry if that's a spoiler. There's 5 parts. You know what? I was in for 4, but 5, that's just too much. Screw you, Adam. Since this is a highbrow channel, I should point out that even though it's rated R, there is no nudity from specific ladies in the film. If you were hoping for that, if you're banking on that, just watch Euphoria. As far as this film is concerned, it takes place in South Dakota, so things move a little slower over there. And the movie does take its time to unwind and unspool all the different characters, because you follow quite a few different people, and they're all kind of, like I said, quirky. For instance, Sydney's character, Penny Jo, I just call her Sydney now. We don't need to go with the last name. That's how close we are. She can't get through a sentence without tripping over her own words. It's an affliction. I don't know if she's doing a good job in the performance. I haven't been around someone who has such a pronounced stutter, so I'm not sure if it's coming off insulting or if she's doing a fine job here. In either case, it seemed like she was doing an all right job. I wasn't annoyed by her performance. But she's a really big fan of Dolly Parton, and she even wants to be a singer like her. Good luck with that. So there's that quirk. And then on this side, we have a guy named Lefty who's right-handed. This is so zany. And then there's our young 13-year-old Cal star. What's his deal? Nothing special, really. He's the son of Halsey's character, Mandy. He seems to be pretty well adjusted. He plays outside a lot. He has a bow and arrow. And, he thinks he's the reincarnation of Indian Chief Sitting Bull. Kids are into some weird shit these days. I mean, to be fair, what else are you gonna do in South Dakota? I found this character to be very funny, especially when he interacts with actual Lakota Indians and just how they respond to him. And then I found him to get more frustrating as the film goes on. But ultimately, I liked the kid. I would say that's kind of where I'm at with the film in general. It starts out with a lot of potential. As it goes on, you're pretty much along for the ride. It gets frustrating towards the end. Some things don't go the way you probably are going to want them to. I don't think Sydney's storyline goes anywhere very fascinating. It definitely doesn't pay off in my mind. But there's enough going on with other characters that honestly didn't matter that much to me. Because even though Penny and Lefty are main characters, there's enough focus on other things, specifically Halsey's storyline, that is just far more interesting to me. We have the Red Rocket star, Simon Rex, in this too. Unfortunately, he just doesn't get enough to do in the movie. I really enjoy seeing this actor, and it's always fun watching what he brings to a performance, but not enough screen time, not enough utilizing of this guy. Visually, a very pretty looking film, has a cinema quality to it, all practical effects from what I could tell. It's not like a big action-heavy, explosive extravaganza. This is a smaller affair, but you do get some shootouts, you do get some thrilling moments, and you do get a couple moments where you're like, what the fuck is going on here? So there is more than enough happening in this film to justify giving it a watch. I'm just not over the moon about the thing. And again, it's mainly because it gets a little frustrating in the final act. Another thing this movie really excels at for me is bringing all these characters together, telling these different stories, and seeing how they cross paths down the road. Always a big fan of that. This film pulls it off effortlessly. The script is tight. There's some sharp dialogue. There's some good social commentary, especially when it comes to our histories, how we honor those that have come before, how we honor our cultures, how cultures change. There's a lot of that showcased by the modern Native Americans in the film and how they don't necessarily have to just fall upon their ancestors to have an identity. They can look to other cultures and they can be their own people. And the way they treat this supposed white savior Sitting Bull is pretty damn funny. The back and forth he has with these guys is great. There's a moment where he looks around the campsite and he sees all the vehicles and he goes, you know, I remember there being a lot more horses back in my time. Just deadpan perfection right there. The kid knocks it out of the park. And as for Halsey, she had way more screen time than I was expecting. Pretty much the main character of the story. I don't think she's gonna be winning any Academy Awards for this, but I did find her performance believable. And as this movie progressed even further, I thought, you know what, good for you, Halsey. Get it, queen. The music's very well done here too. Obviously, it has a Western motif. And because Dolly Parton is referenced in the film, you have to have a song or two by her. Now, I mentioned that this unconventional story is told within 5 parts, but what the hell's this thing about? Well, I'm glad I asked myself that question just now. It's pretty simple on its face. There is this majestic ghost shirt. This is a very special symbolic garb for the Lakota tribe. And recently, it's been acquired by some rich douchebag, which prompts several different parties to try to steal it for themselves. And now we're off to the races. Plotting, murder, chasing, hijinks ensues thereafter, and it's a very fun, engaging time. But is it engaging enough to plop down your hard-earned cash to see in theaters? Well, if you have a movie pass, I think absolutely it is. I do, so I can see a couple movies a week, it's no problem. But if you have to pony up your own money, I think this is one you can safely watch on streaming. That way the ending might not bother you as much because you didn't pay $20 or $30 for yourself to go to the movies. To put a fine point to it, I found this to be a pleasant watch. Could have used a little bit more reworking in the final act, just a personal preference. Some of the storylines didn't quite add up to a place where I thought it felt like a complete story arc, but enough of it worked and there was enough driving force to keep this movie interesting. And there you have my thoughts on Americana, a movie I had no anticipation of enjoying or hating. I just went in pretty blind on it and I came out on the other side unscathed. Let me know if you saw this movie or if you haven't even heard of it, but maybe you're a little bit more interested now. Especially now that you know the star of the Gene ads is here. Please leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. Again, I would ask you humbly, kindly to subscribe to Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Maybe even rate the show. And if you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell so I show up further in your feed. Otherwise, what are we doing this for at the end of the day? And I would love to see you around. All right, take care. If you appreciate my content, I am a one-man band. This is a ton of work and you want a way to give back. Head on over to patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. There's tons of exclusive perks over there. Look at these awesome supporters so far. There's some of the best people on this planet and you could be one of them. You could be right there alongside and I would appreciate it.